Hello everybody, welcome to the full SCR version 1.7.1 review. We're going to be checking out every single feature that 1.7.1 has to offer that we have found so far. So me and my friend, we've checked pretty much everything in the game, and we've got a list of the new parts, and I'm going to check them out. If I have missed out anything, feel free to just drop a comment and I'll give my review in the reply. So if there has been anything missed out, check the comments, see if anybody else has noticed, and check the reply to that. So this is going to be a more in-depth review. So first of all, the main feature is probably the passenger CIS boards, or the customer information screen boards, which are now available upon every train except for the Class 68's Mark III coaches. So you've got them in every train. So we're going to check out the Class 707, mainly due to probably it having one of the best interiors out of every single SCR train. Which of course will be changed when eventually Aeroware's new 707 comes out. Anyway, so we're going to start off by doing Stepford Central to Morganstown. I'm just going to show off the new passenger information screens rather than anything, but as you can tell, the customer information screens now actually show stuff. But as well as that, the onboard passenger announcements, which you'll find out when we turn back on ourselves and head towards Morganstown, it would be a lot more detailed, which makes the game a lot nicer. So I'll see you when we get to Stepford Central in about a minute.
This is Stepford Central. This train terminates here. All change, please. Thank you for travelling with us today.
Okay, so this train terminates here voicing is still the same, but we'll hear what the next one is.
For the 09,
and you can obviously
15,
see
Stepford Connect service to
on the new
Morganstown,
information boards that
Stepford East,
the new
St Helens
calling out
Beach, Ellesmere
announcements,
Junction, Berrily,
I think,
East Berrily, Bewley
might show
Park,
it.
and Morganstown. This train has 5 coaches.
So yeah, it shows you what the next station is and where we are now. I'm not sure whether or not it will show a calling out thing on the board. But anyway, this brings us into the next segment, being the new onboard announcements. Right, what? So now you can hear it. Oh, and here's the new calling out announcements.
This Stepford Connect service to Morganstown. We will be calling at Stepford East, St Helens Bridge, Ellesmere Junction, Berrily, East Berrily, Bewley Park, and Morganstown. The next station is Stepford East.
So as you can tell, it now has a calling out announcement, which is a bit too long on some routes, especially if you are doing the Stepford or Willowfield or to Clun route, where there's a lot of stations where I think Dweller made a joke video about it.
Please mind the gap between the train and
But I wonder how that's going to come across when there's like 2 stations close to each other.
This train has 5 coaches.
yeah, that's pretty much the new
This
onboard
is
announcements.
Stepford East.
Now, for some reason, OBS decided to stop the recording when I reset my character back at Stepford East, and I recorded a bunch of content about the new trains. Anyway, we're going to continue that as normal. So what we're going to do is check out the new Class 68 livery. Just really quickly again, which is a bit too dark as you can tell. Let's go and get that. And it's not necessarily the best looking livery. It's way too dark in my opinion. And I'd go for the old livery for it by a long shot because it's just too dark. It just doesn't necessarily fit the train. Like, I think maybe you should change it to white, mainly so that the train stands out more. Because having it just the dark blue, like that blue's almost black. But yeah, it's not necessarily the best out of all of the trains there. But the next thing that we're going to look at is the new Electro Star horns, which you're going to hear in just a second, which is the same for, I think, all the Electro Stars and the Class 357, which I also think is an Electro Star, but who knows. Anyway, it sounds a bit like this, which sounds a lot more realistic. It's not exactly on point to the Class 377's horn, or the overall Electro Star horn, mainly due to me playing Train Sim mode a bit too much recently, but it's still a lot more better than the original train horn, but I would say it is a lot better. But the next one is in fact the fishbowl door sounds, which I don't have the fishbowl, so I won't be able to show that off in the video, but yeah. The next train that would be doing is the new Airlink liveries, so the Class 185. The double 185 has a more slightly rushed livery, as you can sort of tell there. The lines are a lot more smoother. The Class 360 and the 360/2. The Class 332. And they all have new liveries. I don't have them just yet, but they've currently got the new Airlink liveries, as you can tell. Just there's one thing that I don't really like with the new liveries, and that's on the 360, where the logo, if you look ever so slightly there, it's offset like that, which is annoying. But anyway, so the next thing that we're going to look over is the new green slade, and apparently it's not wanting to work, so we're going to have to walk there the classic way. We're gonna start at Bewley Park and then we're gonna walk down to Green Slade if we can. Yeah, for some reason I can't go to any Waterline or Airlink stations, which is a bit of a bummer, since it would be a lot easier, but instead we're just doing it the classic VexSG way, and that is to trespass our way there. But here is Whitney Green. And then a little hint as to what's different is with those buildings over there. as we continue down. Oh, the overhead wires stick out in the bridge. That's weird. I didn't notice that before, but I think that might be something new in 1.7.1. Now here is Robinson Way, which was going to be one of the tramlink stops. So they haven't fully removed tramlink in 1.7.1, but when we get to Greenslade, there's more evidence that the tracks won't be removed. But I don't think tramlink's going to come back. Since that they've said that it's more of a more scenic purpose, and B, it's not going to be easy keeping on top of them because trams use a different signaling system to trains, and doing an entire signaling system and teaching the signalers how to do it would be a bit too hard, especially now that the signalers is like a team of like a couple thousand maybe. It might be like 500, but yeah. But you can tell there's new buildings at Greenslade, which make it look a lot better in my opinion. And as you can tell, the tramlink tracks are still going. And there's actually a Greenslade station. Now, the entire station is new, but I think we should continue to focus on the tramlink tracks. And they despawned me. Anyway, so let's try this again. So, the tramlink signs now have, well, a lot newer borders, and it's a different shade of green this time, which look a lot nicer. And the tramlink tracks continue down here and go into this building, which just could be a depot or a tunnel. But we'll check over here if these tracks actually come out, which I'm pretty sure they don't. No. Otherwise it could be going in a tunnel. It could be like a City Thames Link where they're gonna move the station inside of the building, and it's going to be a tunnel, so it's on a slant. Who knows? But anyway, what we're going to check out now is a new Greenslade station, which looks phenomenal. They've put a lot of detail into it, especially the roofing and stuff like that. They've got ticket booths, they've got the traditional advertisements, and the platform looks a lot better now, and it's a lot more modern in terms of SCR stations, but it's a lot better in my opinion. I like this island platform design, but Greenslade itself just looks so much better now. So yeah, and that's the new Greenslade. And we've got 3 new depots to look over. For 3 different operators. So 1 for Connect, 1 for Waterline, and 1 for Airlink. So the first one is the one that we saw in the sneak peek, which is the new Willowfield depot, which is actually 2 of. Now, I've deliberately, when I was showing off the CIS boards, I didn't show any Willowfield routes, mainly because I didn't want to show the secrets of the new depot. Let's just do Willowfield Beverly, and as you can tell, there's two new depots, station depot and a mainline depot, which we'll check them both out. I'm pretty sure they're both the same, just in different directions, but as you can tell, this is the new depot at Willowfield, which you saw in the sneak peek. They didn't do that quite correctly. I think maybe you should fix that next time, Vantech.
The train now approaching platform 3.
But yeah, there's the new Willowfield depot, and I'll show you what it's like coming from the other side. So I'll show you the mainline depot, which goes towards Stepford, which is pretty much the same, just in the other direction. Which is very odd how they got different names. Like, you know how Woodhead Lane should have two different depot names because they're literally on the complete opposite side of the tracks from each other, but this is the same name for each one. I haven't updated the passenger information screens in them though. But yeah, overall, I quite like the new Willowfield depot. The next one that we're going to look over is the new Whitney Green depot, which I would show over here. Now, of course, it's a well-known fact of SCR that this here is the Whitney Green depot. But, as you can tell, not anymore. Since that it is now a lot different. And it's a lot different in many ways. It's got the same 2 train capacity, and it's now got useless sidings, but it's a lot nicer though compared to other ones.
0942 Waterline Service 2 Green.
But yeah, what we're going to look over is the next one being the Stepford Airport Parkway depot, which will look on the new class 185. Let's just do Airport Central to Stepford Road. So let's start it with the Parkway siding and then the actual depot itself. So the siding, I'm pretty sure is just the same. Oh, which is something that people would normally expect. I think it did show the siding as a new upgrade thing, but the new depot, in fact, is over here, just south of the Toby's Blenders area, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sidings, but I think only 2 of them are in use because only 2 have the shunter signals. And then here's a new livery. And I think that's the new Airlink HQ. I'm not sure if they've moved it from Beverly or not. I might have to check that out off camera. But yeah, that is the new Stepford Airport Parkway depot. But another thing is that they have done training quizzes and guides, which will make things a lot better, especially for a lot newer players, so that they don't have to watch the entire thingy, which is under the training tab. It shows that the queue, just 1 in 15 minutes, but there's guards, and not guides of the different things. So there's the dispatcher stuff, and it just shows pretty much how to drive, how to dispatch. And the separate ones for dispatchers and guards, which is cool. And you also have to complete a quiz before going over to the training, which I think it's better for the supervisors doing the training, but also allows the people who are training to not speedrun it and take the time with it, which is nice to do, regardless. But what we're going to do now is pretty much end it off, because that's everything that 1.7.1 has to show, that I know of, which I've checked, and it's a lot more in-depth review. And so yeah, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, then make sure to like and subscribe. We are getting close to 400 subscribers, and the growth that we've been having on the channel is immense. You can help us out with that. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. So, goodbye.